All right, class. I'm going to show you guys how to make graphs from your Google Sheet. So the first thing you're going to do, bring up your sample data. You're going to click on your date, which is your first column. Okay, and that's going to be your x-axis. Whatever you select first in your Google Graph is defaulted to be your x-axis. Secondly, you're going to then select the other columns. So you click up here where the letter is B to select the column. If you'd like to select a column that is not next to yours, so let's say I want to select my date and I want to select water temp, I need to hold the command button. The command allows you to select more than one thing. If your columns are next to each other, you hold the shift button to select them. Okay, so let's make a graph with date. I'm going to hold command and select water temp, and then I'm also going to put dissolved oxygen, nitrate, and ammonia. So I'm selecting multiple things on a graph. Now I'm going to insert my graph. Insert a chart. Google calls them charts. First thing is Google tries to automatically make the chart for you, and you have to make some changes. First thing I notice is since my nitrate data goes way up into the 400s, I need to put that on the opposite axis, the right axis over here. So to do that, I go over here to my chart editor and I have to change some things. Okay, to make it a smooth chart, I'm going to smooth the lines. All right, to connect the dots, if I have a day I was absent, you're going to click under Customize, under Chart Style, you'll click Plot Null Values. Okay, then to change axis titles and chart titles, you're going to use this title right here, Chart Title. To give axis titles, you're going to click down here. So my axis title looks good. My vertical axis title, I'm going to change that later. I'm going to show you how to put things on the right axis. You're going to go to Series. You're going to select what you want on the right axis. So I'm going to put my nitrate because it goes so high. And I'm going to put that on my right axis. All right. This now, the right axis becomes nitrate. So when I go to my titles, I'm going to give my, clicking right here, my right axis title. I'm going to call that nitrate in milligrams per liter. And then I'm going to go to my left vertical axis, and I'm going to call this my temp, ammonia, and DO. Okay? And so this is going to help your reader understand what is on all your axes. And these are all measured in milligrams per liter. Okay? Finally, I look at my title, and I say, is my title what it should be, the chart title? And I'm going to say, well, it's water temp, dissolved oxygen, and it's all of these things versus the date. Okay, so now I have my date. All right, I look through my titles, I look through everything. They all look pretty good to me. And now I can start explaining my graph, see if it makes sense. Well, I have my ammonia spiking due to fish waste that then nitrifies, turns into nitrate. And then finally, I see a change in dissolved oxygen right here. My dissolved oxygen starts to decrease. And at the end, once eutrophication happens, I have an increase in dissolved oxygen. Sweet. I've got all of my graph, and I can explain it using claim evidence reasoning. Great. So once I'm done making my graph, the final thing I want to do, if I go to this data scene, I can actually add or remove things. So since my water temperature is not really doing anything here, I'm going to click this button, the little dots, and I'm going to click remove. So now that takes it away from my graph so it looks a little more simple. If I want to add something later, I can click this Add Series button, and the little boxes next to it tell me a way to select. It says what data? Well, all you have to do is select it. So I might want to put my pH data. So I'm going to click the column, and I'm going to add that as pH. Okay. Since those numbers are so low, it's really hard for me to see what's happening. So I might have to change my scale over here. Okay, and so to change my scale, I'm going to now put pH, DO, and ammonia all on one scale. So on the side, I can go to my series, and I'm going to say, all right, pH, you should go on the left axis. Ammonia, you should go on the left axis. Okay, and I'm also going to put my dissolved oxygen on my left axis. Nitrate, put you on my right axis. All right. And now everything looks kind of well spaced out. Okay, that's about it. When you feel like you're done, you can click the X and your graph is here. If you ever need to edit it again, these dots will help you edit. Okay, if you need to copy it or save it, you can do so right here. So edit your chart brings up the window again, and copy chart allows you to put it onto a Google Doc. All right, ask me if you have questions.